about today, what a beautiful day. And I just have to take a moment to pause because we're seeing so many beautiful faces without masks. We've been really through a very challenging time, one that we never anticipated. And I want to start by thanking Park and Rec and the director of Park and Rec, Phil Ginsburg. We have a number of our commissioners here with us today. We were supposed to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Golden Gate Park last year. So a lot of work went into making this concourse what it is right now, the sound and equipment, things that we may not see. And I want to thank Ben Davis and Illuminate for the work and the fundraising done to make this band shell amazing. So Martin Luther got the first opportunity to perform and it feels good. And we're going to see more activities and events right here in Golden Gate Park. But today is so special. I get emotional every time I think about how far we've come as African Americans. Yes, there are challenges, and those challenges will continue to persist as long as we sit to the sides and don't work and fight to do what's necessary to change the lives of what's happening all over the country, not just here in San Francisco. Today we celebrate that milestone. Now, Black people, we always celebrated Juneteenth as a holiday, amen? And so now, finally, people understand the significance of what this means for us. My grandmother, who wasn't far removed from slavery, worked as a sharecropper with her family in Texas, migrated to San Francisco. And in fact, in 1951, that was when the first Juneteenth parade took place. Dr. Wesley Johnson Jr., the owner of Texas Playhouse in the Fillmore, held the first event there, marched down the streets of Fillmore on horseback with Stinson hats. Willie Brown was a part of that group. So many of our ancestors decided on that day, we're going to step out proud of who we are and what we represent as Black people. Juneteenth is so much more than what we see in the celebrations and the festivities. It's freedom. It's a new day. It's a welcomed opportunity for us to grow and to thrive and to remember, of course, our history and to learn from that history. To learn now more than ever how we don't want to continue to see the next generation grow up and repeat that history. We have work to do, and today we celebrate. We celebrate Juneteenth as a national holiday, and in fact, yesterday I signed a declaration making it an official holiday in the city and county of San Francisco. Now, because I gave all city employees the day off, they all left and didn't show up for work today, but that's okay. But what I appreciate about so many people, they said, I want to take this day to learn more about Juneteenth. I want to take this day to serve and to honor the ancestors. Dana King and this exhibit, Monumental Reckoning, is about honoring those ancestors. It's about the 350 original slaves who were brought to this country by force. Just imagine that. Now we know Dana's going to talk about this exhibit a little bit later, but when I first heard about the work that she wanted to do, I couldn't help but feel chills and thinking about the experiences of Black people who were brought over in chains on top of one another. We can never forget the pain and the suffering. And today, as we celebrate Juneteenth, I know I know without a doubt that I stand on their shoulders. I stand on their shoulders, and the only reason why we're able to celebrate such an incredible milestone in history has everything to do with their sacrifice. I will never forget their sacrifice. I will never forget the sacrifice of my grandmother. I will never forget the sacrifice of our ancestors. So when we pour libations to call their name, we honor them. We make sure that we don't forget them, but we bring their presence to the surface. This event, this exhibit is so much more to us. It means a reawakening, a renewal of our commitment to reinforce the need to make sure that we honor our history, we honor the struggle, we do the work to make it better for future generations to come. Thank you all so much.